Well, welcome to this installment where we're going to continue talking about story. If you're going to speak like a leader, you've just got to learn how to tell stories. You got to learn how to partner with stories and tell better stories. You got to. One of my favorite stories I tell is about how I hang out at my friend Rob's house after school in the 8th grade. And his mom was just awesome, was always making us French toast. And I'd be sitting in their dining room eating French toast. And I couldn't enjoy it because they had this bird in a cage behind me. And the bird didn't make it didn't make nice whistling sounds. It made like these squawks, and it was almost like hitting his head against the wall of the cage. I mean, it was just awful. And one day we were upstairs playing video games, probably something awesome like Super Mario Brothers or Duck Hunt or Pitfall, one of those games from the late 80s. And we heard his mom scream. We come running downstairs, and his mom is literally ripping apart a vacuum cleaner. Well, it turns out his mom was cleaning the dining room, got close to the bird cage, decided a bird cage, to clean it, you just got to pull out a tray and dump it and put the tray back in. But she decided to be fast, so she took out the hose and she opened the door and she started vacuuming out the bird cage. And the bird's over in the corner, like looking all crazy. And the telephone rang, and the phone back then, it wasn't, it had a cord on it, right? And so she was trying to reach for it, and she's got the hose in the cage. She's reaching. Finally, she gets her hand on the phone, but the hose tips up and it sucks down the bird. Oh my gosh. Like, you want to talk about the craziest scream in the world. She's ripping apart the vacuum. The bird's still alive. It's covered in everything. The filth from inside of a vacuum, it's got Rob's grandma's toenail on it, covered in hair and a half-eaten gummy worm. And she runs to the kitchen and turns on the water full blast. And then she runs into the bathroom and puts on the blow dryer, and he's got a bird fro, and he's still wet. So she runs into the kitchen and puts him in the microwave. Boop, boop. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I tell that story to middle school students, and you got to be careful with their concrete minds because they totally get it. But I love that story. That bird sat in the cage for the rest of his life and just sort of stared off. I use that story when I'm talking about trials or getting through difficult things. But here's the reality. Brendon Burchard, the great Brendon Burchard, he said, we all have a life story and a message that can inspire others to live a better life or run a better business. Why not use that story and message to serve others and grow a real business doing it? Like, if you're a business owner, business leader, marketplace leader, if you lead people, you got to use your story to be able to do it. I think that there are some elements that make up a great story. If you download the How to Tell a Really Good Story guide from Speak With People, you'll see those in there. That's just in the description. But a good story starts with a hook. It's so crucial. You got to grab their attention. If you speakers, pastors, you're the worst at this. No offense to pastors, but you get on stage, and speakers do this as well. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Raitz. Even though I was just introduced, even though my name's on the screen. Hi, everybody. My name is Jason Raitz. I want to welcome everybody. Ha, 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 ha. Look at you over there. Ha, ha, ha. We waste 5 minutes. You don't have time to waste. Get up front. Go right into it. Drive into the hook. Start with something that just captures their attention. Then, 2, build the scene. I tried in that story. I told it really quickly to you. I tried to build the scene. Go to my friend's Rob's house. Rob's mom made great French toast. We're upstairs playing a video game. Super Mario Brothers. I'm building the scene. You got to create very strong and specific emotions. You got to use images, props, anything you can. And the 3rd, you got to bring some clarity into it. Cut out the details that aren't important. Just go right to it. I could tell you so many other things about Rob's house. His walls were covered in posters, and he had pennants. And, I could tell you, about Rob's mom's French toast. I could tell you, the Frenchiness of her toast was amazing. And then 4, you got to use some empathy. Like, whatever character you build, you got to create empathy. Empathy is one of the most beautiful emotions because every human being feels it. And then you got to be authentic. You got to tell stories that, really help people relate to them. And then you got to be dramatic. It's okay to exaggerate some things. Don't lie, but exaggerate some things. Like I did. I exaggerated. What part of the story did I exaggerate? The hair dryer, right? And then I did it in thirds, right? I did, she put them under the water. She did the hair dryer, and then the microwave, which was the totally exaggerated. This wasn't even a part of it, but it was so fun. Everybody laughs at that part. And then lastly, give them some value. Give them a call to action in the story. Give them a call to action. Robert McGee says storytelling is the most powerful way to put ideas into the world today. Oh, so good. So good. Just powerful. Stories are amazing. If you want to speak like a leader, you got to learn how to tell great stories. And again, in the description, you could download Speak with People's Story Guide. It's going to give you more detail of what I just went over, but you could go download that and use that for your stories. Inside the Speak Like a Leader course, you're going to get some additional worksheets to help you learn how to build stories. All right, friends, I can't wait. We're just piling through this. We're getting through each and every one. Hopefully there's a helpful. Email me, Jason@speakwithpeople.com. Let me know. All right, thanks. We'll see you soon.